Amartian.
We don't necessarily go in to the writing process or recording process hoping for the radio stations to play things. We go in there hoping that we're going to come out with something that inspires us. And I think that's really it. If it's a good song, then there's not really much we can do to bring it where it needs to go. That's just going to happen. It always does. Like a good song finds its way. And we just kind of hope we get to be a part of the writing of one of those every now and again.
Yeah.
What's grateful? What we find ourselves grateful for is that people are still interested in the journey that we've been on creatively, because we obviously picked up some folks with that first record with Flood that some do remain, and as you said, some find their way to us later on in our career, but seem interested in what we're interested in, and I think that's the thing I'm most grateful for, is that it feels like people are most inspired by what we're going to be inspired by. So if we're trying to just crank out something that sounds like something we think people will like, they will be, and have demonstrated they will be less compelled to it. But if we're honest about our own process and doing our work personally and as a band, really trying to pull the best out of each other, it seems like they're willing to go places. So.
Yeah, I would just add, and these guys have already sort of said it, but I feel like it's a very mysterious thing how people receive, a piece of art, whether it's music or whether it's a painting or, it's personal, yet sometimes it can have a critic, sometimes these things take on a life that touch a lot of people, and sometimes they touch a few, and for ages we've theorized about what are the elements that make that happen. But I do feel like there's still an alchemy there. There's still sort of something, sacred and spiritual kind of happening. And I think for us having the benefit of being able to do this for a long period of time, I think we've been able to kind of come to peace with that a little bit and just kind of go, we have our own journey to kind of go on, and we have the songs that we still need to write together, and at the end of the day, it doesn't help us do the work we need to do to try to figure out how people are going to receive those, And so I think there's that kind of sort of sense of trying to lay some of that down, so that we can focus on what's important.
A mentor friend of ours gave us sort of a definition of an artist that we clung on to years ago, and he said an artist is someone that looks at the world and describes it. And I think that made sense to us, because we feel like the palette of what we can address and describe and look at is very deep and very wide, and we see few sort of boundaries or limits in it.